This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club.
We're joined by VFL coach Tim Clarke for Raw Vision, presented by Metro Solar. Tim, after 6 successive losses, it must have been really pleasing for the team to get the win last weekend against North Ballarat.
Yeah, we were pretty disappointed off last week, but there was no bunkum. The boys were really good about the way they approached the week, and to go up to Ballarat, we had a good game against them earlier in the year, and we thought that if we could put them under pressure early, that we'd get the result. And it took 3 quarters for us to finally open up and start kicking scores to give us that lead. But the boys were fantastic with their effort in and around the contest, and especially defensively, really led by Matt Thomas and the boys through the midfield.
You talk about defence there. You must have been really thrilled to be able to keep North Ballarat goalless in the first half and then really restrict their goal power for the full 4 quarters. Yeah,
well, early days, neither team could score, partly due to the wind. It was a strong, 45-degree wind, and it made kicking goals quite challenging. So our defence was very good. I thought they stopped our movement really well as well. So it was goals were hard to find, but luckily our keys got going in the end, and it was really good that Liam McBean could end up with kicking 4 goals. He ended up with 6 shots on goal, and a lot of that was contributed to the fact that we played one of our midfielders in the ruck with Sean Hampson coming out of the team late, which allowed him to play more time up forward and hit the scoreboard, which probably got us the win in the end.
You mentioned Matt Thomas's game there, 30 possessions, but also 8 tackles and 8 clearances. How important was he in the grand scheme of things and leading the boys to victory?
Yeah, Matty's been fantastic now, all year, but his last 2 or 3 weeks of footy, he's really started to get himself going. He had trouble with his knee earlier in the year, but the news was always it was going to get better as the year went on, and his form over the last 2 weeks has been terrific. And he leads by example in terms of his defensive pressure, his approach around the contest, and it's great to have one of those guys playing in our side at VFL and putting pressure on the AFL boys.
So just following on for that, who steps up for your Caden Player of the Week this week?
Yeah, we've got a few guys that are putting their hand up. Liam kicking 4 goals is playing Caden quality football. You got Matty D in the back line that's doing the same thing. But with Matt Thomas through the midfield, like you said, 30 possessions. He kicked a goal, huge tackle pressure, and I think he played the Caden quality football that we expect. And so he's our Caden Player of the Day.
A couple of the other guys on the periphery of selection, and Ben Lennon and Sam Lloyd, Matty McDonough, how did those guys perform on the weekend?
Yeah, the boys were good. We had a couple of guys that were managed. So Lloyd only played a half and McDonough only played a half, given that there's an opportunity for them to play on Friday night with a couple of injuries or sore bodies coming out of our senior game on Saturday. So we wait and see what happens as the week goes on. They both contributed in the halves they played. We'll just wait and see what happens at selection with the senior boys.
Another guy who was on managed time, but it must have been really pleasing to see him out there, was Chris Knights on his return. A couple of classy touches as well. How did he perform?
Yeah, the best thing about Chris is the way he approaches the game. His attitude's fantastic. He leads from the front, and he showed against Ballarat that he hasn't missed a beat, and that's a credit to our fitness team, Peter Burge and the boys down there, Robbie Innes. They've really got the boys in peak condition, and to have Chris come out and play that style of football, we're really happy with, and hopefully can play some more game time this week.
Looking towards this weekend, up against Northern Blues at Preston City Oval, a bit of an expansive ground where the wind can pick up at times. What's the plan going into this week?
It's about effort. Our boys, we play the Richmond way. We play the Richmond style of footy as much as we can, and we'll have a few changes this week. So there's always challenges there. But if the effort's there from the start, with our midfielders and the way they hunt the ball, with our defenders and the way they protect, if we can get the ball into our key forwards, we give ourselves a good chance. So we don't care what the conditions are. We'll play in anything. It's just we expect that the effort's there, and it was there on the weekend, and it'll be there on Saturday.
Thanks for your time, Tim.